right, stream's going. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Basic Conversations. And this is your solo host for the day. I don't have Natty here. I am not at the studio. I'm here with myself, a live stream on my phone, and the computer in front of me with my notes. I hope everyone's doing well today. And before we get into it, again, we talk about a lot of different things, from whatever it's entertainment or current events, the economy, whatever I'm trying to learn, and just any kind of philosophical or insight things into the world. But whatever's said on these podcasts, and I think that I'm gonna make this like a signature thing that we do. Anything we say on these podcasts is just our opinions only and our thoughts. It's an open mind, free conversation. So whatever I say, whatever Natty says, whoever we have on the podcast, it's all for open conversation. We're here to express our thoughts, our opinions, and views, our morals, and what we agree and disagree. The point of this podcast, as always, is just to be as raw as we can, and respect each other's insights and views. But thank you for those who are joining. Let me fix this real quick a little bit because I do want to see who is watching. Let me see if I can minimize this a little more. I have my notes right here on the side, and it won't let me. Hey, yo! Hold on. Okay, there it goes. Yes, sir. Alright. So let me get it this way. Get my notes. Oh, does it not give me a scroll bar? Is it too small? Alright. But usually the way we start off, unfortunately I don't have a partner with me today. I don't have Natty here with me today. It's been raining the last couple Thursdays. We usually do our recordings on Thursdays, and I try to upload them on Thursdays. But I am looking towards to making it a more mobile podcast. That was always the core of this podcast. I'm grateful to have a home base where we can be at all the time with almost no worry, and almost have all the equipment set up. I'm grateful to Creativerse. Shout out to DJ. I always put, I think I've done it on the last two videos, but I'm gonna be putting on Creativerse under the link in the bio. I gotta shout him out because DJ's a great guy, and Creativerse itself, I'm grateful for him and the studio itself. It's amazing to have, honestly. But again, back to being mobile. The whole point of being a mobile podcast, and when I say that, is when I started this, or when I mentioned it, my intentions were to go to places. I started off with my first 4 to 5 episodes being at other people's places. My first episode was at my homeboy Steven's, who is the Rug Lavatory. He's the first episode if you check it out on my YouTube. First guy I did. He was on a different episode where he kind of just visited, and we showed him the studio, and it was great to have him that night as well. And I'm definitely gonna have a lot of these people that I had already back on, just because things always change within time, and I think it's great to have people to come back. So Steve, we did it at his spot where he created his rugs at the moment. He actually moved where he makes his rugs at, so I can't wait to have him back on again. At the second one, I think it was my homeboy Og. We did it at his house. The third one, I think it was my boy Atlas. We did it at his apartment. The whole point of being mobile, I've always wanted to be. I want to be at other places, or even at my own spot. I have a backyard, and I've have a setting that I would like to, use. But the point is, if you can't do a podcast unless there's certain factors you need to make it possible. And so I'm hoping here soon we can make it more mobile. I want to be I want to do it in different settings. I want to have different environments. I want to be able to go to people, or if they're not comfortable doing it somewhere they want, I guess, or like their place or whatever, we can, select a destination where there's no issue of, audio, recordings, the mics, the headsets. So I'm very excited to, move forward with it being mobile. I'm really hoping it works out, and I'm excited to do it. Even like this is a simple setting for me, especially doing it at home. This is another thing I hope to do with like live streaming. I hope even within different settings, I do hope to make it a more live thing. I want to have people interact. I want them to, comment as the conversations are going on. I'm sorry if I pan my head on different directions because I am trying to look at the camera. I'm trying to make sure it's recording properly on my OBS, and I do have the live stream going. I'm probably gonna have the live stream going for like 30 minutes because, yeah, I think my battery kind of goes faster out on my phone when I'm doing the live stream. As you can see, I'm in my home. You can see my bed, my restrooms in the background. You got my pit hair. I got my dresser right there. But yeah, I have there's core values to this that I still want to implement, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. But the way we start off with the podcast as usual is how was your week? And my week, I mean, damn, I actually haven't even thought about that before starting. But it's been pretty busy. I've dealt with a lot of people this week. I am an operations supervisor as my regular 9 to 5. I have a team of now that's 11 people. It used to be bigger, but where I work at, we're kind of how do you say, the people we work for, our customer, they're moving toward somewhere else, so work has been getting slow for us, but there is a new customer moving into where I work at as well. So I mean hence why my team is smaller. I've gained a lot of experience there. I'm thankful for a lot of things, but it's definitely been busy this week. It kind of started off slow. It's a little busy, and I want to say busy, not work wise. It's just, man, I love to talk. I love forming connections and whatnot. Hey yo, what's up, Dion? I love forming connections and whatnot, man. But my job, ever since I got into this role as an operations supervisor, it's mentally exhausting just because I'm conversing with people. I'm talking to people, which again, they're not all bad people. I try to take as much as I can from people I meet. I don't like everybody, of course. I mean, I think that's just in every human being. I mean, there's people who just are absolutely they're magnetizing towards others. But in this environment, it's not for me because it's a lot of business it's a business culture, which I understand and I'm learning a lot from. But I feel like I have different morals and values from a lot of these other people. I can have a business mindset, and I don't entirely understand business, of course. I don't know the gist of things. Sometimes, even today, I had a talk with my boss, and she wants consistent communication, which I understand. But I don't like when you have to communicate so much to somebody. I'm sorry for the reflection on my glasses as well, if that bothers anybody. I'm not for the consistent communication if it's not necessary. I feel like if people knew how to ask the right questions, talk to the right people, and then just have, I don't want to say more lax mindset, but I feel a business could still strive again, if you ask the right questions, if you have a more open mindset, if you weren't so nitpicky about things. I don't know if anybody could agree with that. But overall, that's kind of how my week went. Today, especially, like, fuck. I didn't even go to the gym. I'm gonna go tomorrow. So my, how do you say, I guess my resolution, or not my ultimatum. I forgot how to word it, but my resolution for today, cause like, man, I was just kind of like mentally tired today. Some shit happened. And man, I was supposed to do leg, bro. You're not supposed to miss leg day. You're not supposed to miss leg day. But I missed leg day, and I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So my resolution, or not my solution, was to do leg day tomorrow morning. So here I am doing the podcast, making sure I'm getting this right. Tomorrow morning, the plan is to go hit leg day. I have my son. I won't have my son, but he has a soccer game. He's starting soccer, so I'm excited to see his experience with soccer. He played football recently, and he enjoyed football, but he said he wanted to play soccer next. So we're gonna try soccer now. We're gonna see how that goes. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it pans out. So that. And I'm planning to make this a double gym sesh. So in the morning, I'm gonna go hit legs, and then I got my son's soccer game, and then afterwards I might try to handle like an errand or two. But whether I do or don't, afterwards is gym, and I'm gonna go hit back and biceps, because like I am kind of disappointed in myself for slacking today. But again, I felt like I did need that break. I needed to I just needed to be home, man. So I'm happy to be doing this right now. So I finished this off as well, because unfortunately I wasn't able to do it yesterday because my Wi-Fi was down. Again, I do try to schedule the podcast on Thursdays, and when we do make it mobile, it could change the pace. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, I gotta talk to my man's DJ at Creativerse. But tomorrow is gonna be a pretty progressive or productive day. And bro, I've never hit the gym twice in one day. But I mean, it shouldn't be a big problem, because I'm gonna hit legs first, and then again I'm gonna hit back and biceps. I'm really just not trying to slack, because I'm trying to get these gains. As a gym person right now, I mean, I'm willing to accept like all perceptions and advice, but where I am in like my fitness journey is I want to get big, I want to be stronger, I just want to feel healthier, I want to look good for myself. Like lately, I've been feeling good about myself every time like I finish a gym sesh, especially when like I notice I'm able to lift a little heavier. Sometimes I do push myself, but like that's the thing, you have to push yourself. Again, in the gym, if you're gonna lose weight, if you want to get stronger, you kind of have to push yourself. Make sure you eat something before the gym. Drink a protein shake, or eat something like with carbs, with a lot of protein, because you want to have that energy before you go. And I've kind of realized that a lot, because recently, I have like this 4-pack, or I had this 4. I mean, it's kind of there still. Obviously, I'm not gonna show it, but it was, in a sense, I was kind of cutting, because I wasn't really eating a lot. Especially like even before gym, I would not eat a lot. I wouldn't eat anything. Because like at work, you're not technically supposed to eat on the floor if you're on the floor. But I always like sneak in a bunch of snacks when I'm like on the floor and stuff. Like I do, especially more recently, I'm eating a lot more. I'm trying to eat a lot more, because again, I do want to get bigger. But my self goal overall is to like a boxer's physique, and my dream goal would be like Michael B. Jordan off of Creed, man. But I I don't think I'm gonna reach that level just simply because I'm really not someone who's gonna go on a diet, or I'm not gonna go or an extreme diet. And I'm sure Michael B. Jordan, he has like a very strong diet. Um, when he achieved that body physique for Creed, and I mean even after Creed, the full looks good. But I actually have a friend uh, that I work with, and this fool, he looks good, man. He's in shape, and I've been asking him questions recently, and like he himself told me, he said like I kind of almost eat whatever I want, but I just go hard at the gym, and I've been kind of taking that into account, and I kind of feel it. When I guess when you intake so much, you get energy, but also you do want to eat clean as much as you can as well. Like don't abuse that statement where it's like, oh, I could eat Popeyes, I could eat McDonald's, or I could down a whole pizza, but but you want to be just aware of what you're consuming as well, because some of these foods do make you like tired and whatnot. Like I realize with my son, when he wants food, like we'll get Popeyes or McDonald's, and I guess it also depends on what you do in your day. It makes you tired, like it makes you lazy, and it's like, man, I kind of don't want to do this. But again, it all comes to like discipline as well. You do have to force yourself, especially if you are feeling tired, lazy, and whatnot, because obviously nothing's gonna get done unless you push yourself, and that's simply what you need to do. Um, Also, to the people that are watching, I'm not. Sometimes I may draw some knowledge if it happens, but I think I am a very simplistic person when it comes to answers. I think people they want how do you say, such a distinct answer, a complex answer to answer their questions about like reality or life or where they're going. But a lot of the things comes down like you already know what you want, you already know what you need to do, so like just do it. So me myself as a person, sometimes I'll drop some knowledge, maybe I'll drop some motivation, but I'd like to be, if someone asks the right questions in the right form, I will give you like the most simplistic answer that I feel is at least raw, at least, because I feel people know the answer to a lot of things. Yeah, you might feel lost sometimes, but I think if you really think about it, you know the answer, and it's just you kind of you have to accept what that answer is, and you have to work towards it. You do have to work towards it, man. You Even the other day, someone asked me. He was asking me. He's like, "Hey, I notice you're always smiling. You're always happy, or at least you seem happy. You're able to push through the day, this and that, and that itself is a whole conversation. I feel you there's so much you can do to be, I guess, happy. Actually, recently I didn't take any notes on it. I wish I did. I could open a page to look into it, but I'd rather just go off of what I read. But like yeah, oh back now before I get there was this article I read. The United States itself has fallen off as as one of the happiest countries in the world, and I think right now we're ranked 20 something to 30 something around there. I don't quite remember, but what I was reading, and I think this typically fell under the younger generation. The older generation, a lot of them are content. Well, because which I mean, most of us might know. Evidently, it's just the older generation. They kind of set. They maybe have partners. They have their job working out for them, or they got a lot of things that they're kind of set for the most part. I've seen a lot of people older than me, but at least right now, a lot of people older than me, they're kind of like struggling. I can kind of see unhappiness in them, but I do see them pushing through, and I do respect that. But like, it, back to the subject at hand, like this. So this guy in particular, he's just asking me like, what do you do? And I told him, I'm like, dude, I go through it as well. Like I have my depression, I have my sadness sometimes. It is kind of dark right here. Sorry, I do have the live stream going, but I was just telling her, like, again, I'm not gonna get too much into it because I do want to simply talk about what I did do. I did do my research on, but being happy, man, especially in today's economy, or at least here in the United States, as a Westerner, um, you need to find those things that are gonna make you happy. Like even the smallest of things, like you need to find that community or that group, that circle, your friends, your family, those people who like really truly make you happy, or like what you feel like makes you happy. Like me, I'm content with a lot of things. Like I get irritated just as everybody else. I'm fucking tired as well, man. Like even today, I didn't want to do a lot of stuff, but like again today, I had some laughs. I had some things that made me smile, and it's you really have to appreciate just the smallest things in life, man. Like me, I love music, so I listen to music. Even sad songs make me happy just because it's relatable, or the beat's nice, or what they're saying is like again relatable. I play games, man. Gaming is a lot of happiness for me. I'm thankful for the people I game with as well. A lot of the people I game with, I've known them for a few years. They're really cool people. You know, like gaming. I love anime. I watch my anime. I love movies, man. So I'll try to watch a movie when I can. Anime, I try to watch all the time. Like right now, I'm rewatching Vinland Saga season 2, or not season 2, but season 1. Then I'll move on to season 2. Vinland is amazing. Uh, like so, anime, movies. The few friends I have, I appreciate them. I don't think I'm the closest with them. I do have a few friends that I am really close with, and I'm so thankful for them. But like, man, and then at the same time, you kind of just have to be able to let go of stuff. Like, don't get caught up on like what others think about you, or why is this person not doing this, or um, like overall, you don't people think others are mind readers. People think that others can be like them, which I mean they can. I mean, I feel like, and I try not to get lost in myself too, because I'm a confident being. I feel I'm not the perfect person either, and I know that I've made a lot of mistakes. But you want to find, you just got to be able to understand others and let go of shit. Because I've gone through life where I'm like questioning shit, like questioning friends. I'm like, oh, is this person a real friend? This and that, and you'll figure out yourself what's a real friend in your eyes. Like I guess in a sense, if you want to be happy, like you need to find your boundaries. You need to have your standard, your expectations, and just stick with them, and then be okay with the consequences of different choices that you make, or that you partake in. Especially with me, like, bro, even like, a good example was this morning. I'm not gonna get too much into it because I feel like it's personal. It's something I'm not comfortable really sharing with right now. I feel like it's embarrassing, but something happened this morning where I'm like, I was worried about something. And I was like, fuck. I was really shitting on myself so bad, and again, at the end of all things, all I could do was be mad at myself, because I was like, and I told myself, I'm like, you decided to do this, you knew what you were doing, and you could have chose better, and again, it worked out in the end. I'm very grateful. I'm so grateful that it still worked out for me, but like, you have to understand like the part you play in things. A lot of people, man, we get so defensive about things. We like to play the blame game. We like to think it's something else. We like to think external factors are the reason for our unhappiness when it's not that. And it is which I actually may kind of get into it with. Where's my bar at? Hold up. Okay, there it goes. I feel like we blame a lot of external factors on unhappiness, and it's not the case. Unfortunately, yeah, it may play a part, and to some degree, but you yourself need to make the change. I saw a video I think this morning as well. It's this guy. He's a very fit guy, and this dude's a beast, man. But he shared something like where he's anytime somebody asks like, oh, where do you get the motivation? How do you do this? Like, how do you stay so consistent with this stuff? And it's almost like, yo, the answer's in front of you, and you yourself know. You know you need to be disciplined. You know you need to create. You need to make time for what you really want to do, or create the life you really want to create. Because you know if you don't take these steps, if you don't create this change, if you don't challenge yourself to level up, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not. And that's why, like, for me myself, at the end of the day, I can only be mad at myself, because as much as I want to blame other shit, it's not that other thing's fault. Whatever those factors are, it's not. And most of those factors is because it's how I interpret it, how I perceive it, or it's because of previous choices I made that led up to this. But you need to accept like the consequences of things and just be like, all right, now I know what I need to do better. I know now what I need to change. And if you know, then do it. And it's as simple as that. You need to do it. Like even right now, like I was pretty disappointed in myself that I haven't been able to do the podcast in at least 3 weeks. So I'm glad that I'm doing this right now. And like it's actually because of natural how do you say natural reasons. It was raining. My car right now, my alignment's not all that well, because so I'm not gonna drive to Dallas with my alignment bad, so it does make me feel unsafe. But even like last Thursday, I literally the last 2 Thursdays I could have done a podcast episode by myself or with Natty, but I just chose not to. And I mean I'm kind of glad I didn't at the same time, because I felt like I had more free time, and I was able to relax a bit. And I even realized at one point where it's just like, I'm like, fuck, I have stuff to do, but I'm like, I have less to do right now. And it was kind of relieving. It's kind of good to have those breaks, guys, but again, if you want to get somewhere, you need to be consistent and disciplined. So back to being the whole happiness factor. Again, it's simple as that. You need to find those people you love, the people that love you truthfully, and the human experience itself is very complex. There's people who will play you. You'll make bad decisions. You're never really gonna know the exact answer to everything. I know we as human beings, we wish we knew what the actual answer was. We wish we knew, like, damn, is this the right decision? And sometimes you do know. But so many things play into our life, and you need to be content with how life plays out. You need to you need to be accountable for the decisions you made, the actions you made, the decision you made, the actions you made. And if they were the wrong decisions or actions, contemplate them.
Auto shutdown initiated.
Shit, God damn, sorry.
Auto shutdown canceled. Mic off.
I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't know if you heard it off the recording, but my mic just like went off. I have a headset on, obviously, as you can see, but it's a Bluetooth, and it had an auto shutdown. That shit scared me. But I forgot what I was getting at with this. I lost track because of the auto shutdown. I mean, okay, yeah, you need to accept like the consequences of things. You need to be fully aware of the scope that's going on around you. I myself is still learning a lot, like to be aware of my surroundings or decisions I make, the choices I make, and when you feel like you faced failure, defeat, again, just contemplate on it, man. Like don't let it drag you down. Don't let it be something like, damn, man, like I messed up, and what am I gonna do, or how am I gonna fix this, or I'm like, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. Don't look forward and just be like, all right, I see what I did. I see what I did. Now I'm gonna do this. I can do this. Next time, if it does get to this point, now I know how to handle it emotionally, mentally, and physically. I guess that depending on what the situation is. But to happiness itself, man, I hope people find like the happiness they're looking for. You need to figure out who you are really. I think you need to be able to be. I think you need to be comfortable with yourself for the most part. Like I'm self-conscious with myself in a lot of different ways. I've always been, and I think that's just us as human beings. I still think about how others view me. I still wonder how people feel about me, because I am someone who wishes like everyone could like me, but that's not a part of the world. Not everyone's gonna like you, whether they tell you straight up or they're being fake about it. And you definitely want to be careful with the people that are being fake about it. And that just comes to another like factor of being aware. You want to let me double check. You want to be careful of those that are being fake, obviously. And like read the signs. You can call people out as well if you know how to handle like people and reactions, and overall, if you feel like that's what makes you happy. Because me personally, as a person, I'll call people out if I really feel the need to. If not, I kind of just push away from it. I'll distance myself from it. I won't deal with it just because I'm like, it takes a lot of mental energy, and it's like there's no point to handling a lot of situations, because depending on what that situation is, it's gonna drain a lot more out of you when you face it, rather than like, okay, I'm gonna move on. So I feel happiness is a very intricate subject, and it all comes down to what you really believe. You have to be honest with yourself. We lie to ourselves a lot. I lie to myself sometimes, but you really, really need to be aware of yourself. You need to be content with yourself, and you need to accept everything and anything that comes with this journey, because it can suck sometimes. But I believe in myself, and I believe in each and one of y'all that are trying to like face this journey. If you're struggling, even if you feel like you have everything, because I know people who seem like they have everything, but they're still struggling like mentally or emotionally. But now, either way, I'm gonna move forward from that. You know what you need to do. You know what you know what you need to do to be happy. Don't be afraid to face that fact. You know what you need to do to be happy. But I just want to touch on these few things, kind of like share my intake on it, what I feel about it, or just put it out there in the air. I wish right now I only have one person watching, but I wish I had more people. No one's even on live. But I kind of wanted to touch on the specific story, and I wasn't even trying to touch on this company in general. It's just kind of like where I kind of seen in the last few years. So predictions that global oil demand will fall off or will still off. I'm not sure if I mistyped that now that I think about it. But specifically, this article was kind of central around this company called Kuwait Petroleum, and they deal with oil for the most part. Excuse me. So predictions that global oil demand will still off. I think that's actually what I meant to put. So apparently the world's population is expected to increase by a quarter by 2050. I think we're at 8 billion. I think we reached 8 billion 2-3 years ago, and we're gonna increase by another quarter of a billion. I feel like we're gonna actually no. I think it's gonna take a minute before we reach 9 billion, and I guess I kind of touched on that, as I explained this stuff. It's expected to grow. I mean, again, I'm not too knowledgeable of what's really going on in the world. I know a lot of people I know, or at least I see on social medias or people I meet. A lot of people do want kids, but a lot of people at the same time do not want kids because, they want to live, themselves. They're still trying to get themselves together. They're trying to find ways to be stable. But Kuwait Petroleum estimates that we'll be burning. Hold on. Kuwait Petroleum estimates we'll burn through more energy per person over the next 2 decades. That's 20 years, guys, per person. And again, we're at like 8 billion and who knows how many right now. That's a lot of energy we're consuming in 20 years. 750 million people in the developing world. I wanted to kind of research what like the developing world is, because in my mind right now I'm kind of looking at like Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, India, Saudi Arabia, a lot of Middle Eastern, like I feel like it is mainly the Middle Eastern part of the world. I mean, you can even throw Haiti in there, and my condolences to Haiti right now. They're facing like gang violence. Gangs took over the government, and I haven't even been able to research myself what's really going on over there. I only heard about it once, and it hasn't really been talked about since then. Let me move this real quick because it is. Hold on. Can I move this closer? Oh yeah. 750 million people in the developing world have no electricity, and nearly 2.6 billion have no cleaning solutions. I didn't really look into what the cleaning solutions were, but I feel like it's more or less like clean energy, like recycling, good water. Maybe even the simple pack of cleaning solutions like soap, hand soap, detergent, bleach, etc. Hold on. And then back to why this article was kind of centered around Kuwait Petroleum is because most of the article was kind of talking about how oil is still cheap compared to other alternatives, because right now the world is trying to push themselves to be more green, because a lot of like global warming is at an all-time high. Another thing I was reading is that ski resorts, a lot of them are losing snow. I even watched a video today. It was a little vibey video. A lot of people were going skiing, but the line to wait to go skiing, bro, it was kind of dry on the floor aspect. Like you can see the mountains and stuff all snowy, so I'm sure they had, obviously people are there to ski, so I'm sure they had more than enough like terrain where they could ski and snowboard. But like I don't know. I see the change, man. I see the differences in the world. I see where we're being actually affected at. Um, so like even right now, with the EV, electricity, Tesla's kind of falling off a little bit just because Elon Musk is trying to handle a lot of things. But right now, oil is still cheap compared to the other alternatives, and it kind of leads into with AI in this last part, and I kind of see it myself. I mean, this is AI is its own sole entity compared to like I guess everything else that really plays into the energy consumption of everything. But this last part it says AI can help find healthier energy solutions, but AI itself, which is an electrical aspect to the world or an electrical resource, it's expected to devour 7.5% of U.S. electricity by 2030. Right now we're at 2024, or the first quarter of 2024, and soon enough we'll be in 2030. Man, it's 6 years. Uh, and so that's triple the share from only 2 years ago. Again, I didn't really go too far into it, so I'm not sure what I guess the prediction was 2 years ago, but we're consuming a lot of energy as a population, and I've seen that. I've seen stuff like gas where I'm at right now is $3.40. And if we keep increasing as a population, we're only gonna keep struggling, man. Inflation's at all-time high, which I'm gonna kind of touch in at this next part. Inflation, people, we're kind of overpopulating a lot of things. People are moving everywhere, at least in the U.S. Like it's a domino effect here. Who knows where it started off, but like the main part is like California. California has just become so bad with their economy. A lot of them have moved to Texas. I'm sure some of them have moved to Florida. Who else knows where they moved? But it's a domino effect. People are being forced to move from like their homes down. Like I've seen. No, I can't say that. At least I've seen. It seems like people move from Texas just because they're starting to see like, damn, I can't afford it here no more, and they're Texans. And people that are coming from outside of Texas, like California, as a prime example, it's so bad over there that when you sell off your property, you get so much money, and you take it somewhere else. In that somewhere else, you have a lot of money. So who knows, like the amount of Californians or even other states that's come down here with their money. And their money is so much more valuable here compared to where they came from, and so they're buying all the land, they're buying these houses, they're in a sense they're not really contributing to an easygoing life here. But that's just, I mean, Texas is a big state, and unfortunately that's really just how life works right now. It's as much as we keep populating as a human race, we have to come to understand the fact that we're gonna have to pay more, man. Like, you don't know how many people, talk to me about things, about like their struggles and all this and that. And I'm like, yo, all I can do is listen, and all I can do is pray for you, because like I'm almost in the same boat. Which now I want to kind of get into this next topic: inflation and Fed rate cuts. Me myself, I'm kind of like, I do love to really learn about what's going on in the world. I've always kind of been intrigued with current events, because I've kind of, throughout school, I mean, I guess high school in specific, where I felt like I had a more intellectual mind. It would have been nice to maybe know about. I wish I kind of was get into this stuff maybe even before high school, or at least freshman year. I've always loved to read books, though. I do like to read books. But so inflation and Fed rate cuts. Investors anticipated Fed would cut rates several times through 2024, But now I didn't know this for it because actually when I first heard about cut rates in the U.S., I only heard about three. I only heard about three, but apparently it seemed like a lot of investors were anticipating that the rates would have several cuts in 2024. These rates kind of deal with like interest rates. As far as I know, just interest rates. I'm not sure what other variables are involved in that, but it's supposed to like help the economy. But since inflation is like still a problem here, they keep trying to go around the fact, like the U.S. itself is admitting there is an inflation, but at the same time they're like, oh, it's not that bad, and I feel like the average American, to them it's pretty bad, and it seems no one else is feeling it for some odd reason. But actually, it's not even. No, sorry, take that back. I think even a lot of like the higher middle class or the high. What do you call that? Lower. You got your low class, your middle class. Is it the high class, your rich class, the wealth class? I guess the more wealthier people, I guess. Some of them are experiencing shit too. They're like, damn, we're all going kind of go through it in our own levels. But so it's a little insight. Okay. Now apparently instead of several rate cuts through 2024, now investors are predicting the first rate cut to be in June, and now we're only looking at 3 different cuts through the year because again, inflation is not calming down. I hope it does to a point, or it becomes to a standstill where it's like, oh, now we really don't have to worry about a lot of prices going up. The Fed began raising rates in March 2022. So, and one example of like where shit is just kind of like bad. Fed began raising rates in March 2022, where a 30-year fixed mortgage rate was a 4.29%. Compared to now, it is a 7.10%. Man, I have a house right now. I live in a house, and right now, I'm not gonna tell you my rate, but it's not 7, but it's still high enough where it's not a 4, man. And it's just like, yo, I feel it. I understand. And I'm like, yo, that is wild. I mean, I can do this. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I can do this. Sorry. That is wild. And that kind of comes back to like the happiness aspect. It's a lot of like my generation, people around my age group we're suffering a lot. We're having trouble buying things. We're having trouble saving. We're having trouble investing. We're having trouble paying off shit. Credit cards are being used at all time high, which is that right here. So debt on credit cards have become more costly with rates now at 20.75% from 16.74%. Which again, overall, it means the economy itself is using credit cards a lot as a form of payment. Again, I have people that kind of tell me their struggles sometimes. Obviously, I don't know what they're usually really using their money on, but I use my credit card sometimes, and I'm like, fuck. If I'm using it sometimes, who knows how much the next person is using the credit card. And so it's just inflation is there, guys. Who knows when it will settle down? I feel like the average American is feeling it. But with everything I've been watching and learning, the thing is, you need to take control of what's going on. You yourself need to take control. If you feel like you have nothing going on, if you feel like you yourself can't do anything to change, if you have a brother, sister, a children, show them. Like, if you could gain the knowledge yourself and maybe have an insight to what's actually going on in this world, if you can't prepare yourself, at least you could help, again, your siblings if they're younger, maybe even at the same age, maybe they have a different mindset, or children, your children, or maybe a family member's children. Is educate people, educate yourselves. Learn about stocks, learn about what real estate is. Real estate is a good market right now. I'm not sure how long it'll last because I feel like we're running out of a lot of land in this world, because of real estate. Real estate is such a booming market because obviously we have, quote unquote, so much land. In the end, we're gonna run out though. In the end, we're gonna run out of land. I know you can tear down houses, you can tear down buildings and stuff, which I think some places are trying to do. Like I know, at least here in Texas, where I live at, in the city, I've been to a lot of abandoned places, and one of my thoughts was, as much as I love abandoned places, just because it kind of has like a little history that you don't know much about, unless like they're an actual historical site or something with a story. I've always wondered, I'm like, yo, why won't they just revitalize these abandoned buildings or just tear them down and leave it be until they have something planned? Damn, I forgot what the point I was trying to make. Until you have something planned, you need to be aware of what's going on in the world. You need to invest. You need to take care of yourselves, or if not, like invest money. Invest in yourself. Intellectually, learn more, guys. Right now, I'm trying to learn more about stocks. I've invested a little bit, but I don't know the whole scope of things. So myself, I'm taking a class just so I can have notes to refer back to and gain some insight. Because myself, I'm someone who can learn when people are explaining things to me on a core subject, or both, or if someone's there to actually teach me and show them what they got going on, like the way they grew up in that atmosphere, how they made themselves successful. Sorry, guys. But we already are in challenging times, and personally for me, I feel like it is going to get worse before it gets better. So you need to educate yourselves, or you need to educate the people around you, be a leader, change yourself, help others change, because it's a struggle out here, man. And of course, lend a hand if you can. Whether it's just a few bucks or like something in regards to communication, lend a hand definitely if you can. But be mindful of yourself too. If you're lending a hand, accept where it could go, because even recently I encountered a situation where I thought someone was my friend, or I thought we were building a friendship, and I helped them out financially, and they kind of switched up on me when I was like, yeah, I can't really help you all that much. I'm not a fucking bank or some shit. And that friendship kind of like decimated, and it hurt. I was like, all right, I actually tried to do something nice for someone, but they took advantage of me. And the thing is, I came into that situation, helping them, already thinking this person is probably not gonna hold up their word. And when I say that is because I was told that they would pay me back, and so they didn't keep their word. And it's the moral, it's the principle to me. So again, you just need to be mindful, like who you're helping to. I try to help as many people as I can, and if you're gonna help someone, be aware of the consequences that could come out of it. They might stop talking to you, or they're gonna play you, or again, they're gonna try to take advantage of you. Um, oh shit, I don't know if that was a good idea. I kind of like, ow, 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 ow. Oof. I kind of crossed my legs and I thought that would be more comfortable. And it's just not the case. You really do need to be mindful of who you communicate with, who you form connections with, and take care of yourself. But also care about the people around you, even if they're strangers. I mean, it's okay to help people once in a while. If you want to gain something back, make it clear. If you don't care, then don't care. Like, don't switch up and be like, oh, I did this for you, so why aren't you returning the favor? No, if you're gonna help someone out, do it with pure intentions, or if you're looking to gain something out of it, put it out there. Don't take advantage of others. But that's kind of like my opinion of like stuff, especially with like this debt shit. That's really all the notes I took. But debt, I feel like debt is all time high because I could kind of like feel that I'm in a little bit of debt just because of like different financial choices I made. But I feel from my like side of the world, my perception on things, like the people I've been talking to and stuff like that. You need to shit. Hold people accountable. Hold yourself accountable, man. I feel like a lot of this stuff in this world is very simplistic, but we don't really like to look inside of ourselves, or we don't like to change things, or we already know the answer and we don't want to fix it. But I think we all know what we need to do in the end of the day. And myself, I pray everyone does find like their version of what success is or what happiness is, contentment. I believe you shouldn't settle down. We all have one life to live, and we need to find what really makes us happy in this life. So cherish the small things for sure. If you want more than the small things, then work for it. Put that discipline in, keep yourself motivated, and attack it hard each and every day to achieve what you want, whatever the goal is. Sorry, guys. But I feel like that is all I have to really say. I only have one person watching right now on the live stream. On my Instagram live, a lot of people didn't really pop up on it. They didn't really stay too long. But I hope to kind of do more of this. And again, like my whole gist of this is I hope to grow a community. To the one person watching on here, if you're an actual person, unless it's like some weird bot, I do hope to create a good community out of it, or a challenging community. People where you can express yourselves, but be open to someone challenging your thought or your view. Have actual in-depth conversations. Agree to disagree, or perhaps you have conversations where we could change each other's minds on a topic or subject. So I'm finna close this off here soon. To the people that are watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitch. I'm gonna be putting my link on the bottom. I use Linktree, so because I have several things that I use. I really hope to grow this more. I hope I can get more people involved. I really do want to be educational about stuff. I do try to do as much research as I can. I do want to put stuff out there for people that I feel like aren't getting all the information they need, and I hope I can help people in my own sort of way. So I think that's really all I have to say right now. I thank you to those that did watch for a little bit. Thank you to the person that stuck around. I think that's it. Again, thank you for everything, guys. I hope you have a great day, a great week whenever you do watch this, and make it great. Make yourself great. Live in the highest version of yourself. Don't hold grudges. Don't live in doubt. Don't put yourself down. Believe in the higher power. Believe in a brighter future. Believe in yourself. Challenge yourself. Prepare yourself. Educate those around you. Educate your kids. Love and care. So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this episode where I was by myself. I think it went well. I'm actually kind of more excited to do things by myself. But this is the part where I hope to grow a community, because if I do more by myself, I want to have people actually interact more in the chat. But again, thank you guys. This is Basic Conversations, and I hope you have a good night.